So first, where are we? We're everywhere. We're quite decentralized, I guess it's appropriate to say. We have studios all over the world. We're headquartered in Hong Kong. That's sort of our spiritual home, but we have a presence in pretty much most major markets in the world. And obviously, we're always looking to expand into new territories. So to the extent people are interested in working with us, please come sell us your studios. We do a lot of stuff, but we basically have two sides of the house. We make games, we're game developers, and that's fundamentally who we are. But we're also very active strategic investors because we're big supporters of the ecosystem, as many of you may know. We've been active since the end of 2017, and we've made a lot of seed investments in companies in this space. And it began actually as a process of just supporting our friends who are all starting businesses in this sort of blockchain gaming space at the same time as us. And then it grew and has become, I think, quite a vibrant ecosystem of companies that we work regularly with and we partner with and we grow together with. And I think in the universe of blockchain gaming, where interoperability is one of the key features of what we do, working together and collaborating is a really important part of the spirit of the community. So in terms of those investments that we made, we're quite well known for, I think, a lot of these companies that we've worked with. Some of them you'll recognize and some of them you may not recognize. But we've invested across a variety of different business segments. So here you can see blockchain gaming, play to earn, metaverses, art. Beyond that, in fact, we've made a lot of ecosystem investing. So we invest in, picks and shovels, wallet providers, infrastructure, etc. Because all of these different kinds of businesses benefit what we do. These are our partners. These are the people we work with. And so we think it's really important to support this ecosystem because we still feel like we did 4 years ago when we came into it, where we want to ensure that there's an ecosystem for us to be a part of. So it's important for us to try to take a leadership role and support the growth of the overall ecosystem, because this rising tide, as we can see here in New York this week, is definitely lifting all the boats. And so this is very important to us. The second reason it's important to us is because, one of the few things that we kind of get on our soapbox and talk about in terms of our principles is openness. And so we very much believe in a multi-chain ecosystem. We support, open standards and open collaboration, and we think that this is a really important thing, which is why we support projects that work on a variety of different blockchains, variety of different technologies, because we think that this industry is not about picking winners, it's about supporting everybody and growing the ecosystem. Because we're benefiting from all the work that each of us does, because we can learn from and plug into those toolkits, etc. So that's how we progress so quickly. In terms of IP, obviously you can tell from the name of the company, brands mean a lot to us, so we work with a lot of global brands, particularly in entertainment. This is something that comes from our heritage as a mobile game company originally. So we were the biggest licensee of IP in mobile gaming, and we've carried that across to our work in blockchain gaming as well. So we work with lots of different brands because we think, in this early stage of blockchain gaming, one of the things that's so exciting about being able to own your own digital content for the first time is the opportunity to own branded content. Because branded content, brands resonate and connect with consumers. The idea of being able to own that merchandise for the first time is really exciting for a lot of people. Also, you can see that the road for us over the last 2 years, 3 years has been extremely busy. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. So we've been launching a lot of game titles, we've made a lot of investments, and I think it's great because actually when we look at the history of how we've progressed over the last few years, it actually kind of maps out a history of the progression of the blockchain game industry in general. We've learned a lot along the way, we've used different technologies, we've come up with new ideas and grown together with all our partners in the industry. And this is something that I think is really great. And it's why I love being part of a community that, even as we grow bigger and bigger, still very much feels like a community of scrappy startups. I think that's a fantastic spirit. Just to talk a little bit about some of our own games. Motorsports is a big vertical for us. So many people will know we started out with Formula One Delta Time as kind of our first entree into blockchain gaming. a partnership with us in Formula One. We extended those partnerships in motorsports to include MotoGP and Formula E, and more recently launched a game called Rev Racing, which is our own in-house title. And all of these games are sort of interwoven with the Rev ERC20 token, which is the in-game currency, the medium of exchange of all of these games. Because we really wanted to create a currency that was, you know, for fans of motorsports and cars and racing, so that they have an experience that's shared amongst many different products that represent their passion. The Sandbox, I think maybe I don't need to introduce, many of you are familiar with it, but this is obviously a product we're very, very proud of, and we think the idea of user-generated content in a blockchain gaming context is very, very powerful, because the idea of owning your own content you know, is one thing, but to be able to create and own and monetize that content as a creator is a very, very powerful thing. And so, you know, the team of the Sandbox have just been doing an incredible job of building community over the last 4 years. And I think that now some of the success that they've had is a result of all that hard effort at building community. Because at the end of the day, those communities are what power our entertainment experiences. And without those communities, we're nothing. So it's all about building those communities. And more recently, some of you may be aware of our Arc 8 mobile game that we launched on Polygon a few weeks ago, which we're very proud of. You know, we're blending a hyper-casual HTML5-based gaming experience on mobile with NFT collecting mechanics and the ability to mine ERC20 rewards, our Gamee token rewards. And I think it's a fantastic example of how we can leverage the incredible global distribution of mobile to onboard more users into blockchain games. So we launched, I think we launched about 3 weeks ago, and we opened about 1.3 million wallets on Polygon in the first 10 days. So we're very pleased with the results there. So that's, I think, pretty much it. You know, I wanted to give you this overview. Oh, sorry, I totally forgot about Quid, which is unfair to Michael because they're based here in New York. So the last one is Quid, which is our digital collectibles platform. And Quid is kind of digital collectibles before blockchain. So this is a platform that's been around for 6 years now. And it began as a centralized platform for fans of all kinds of different brands who collect trading cards and other digital collectibles based on traditional formats. And now we're bringing that platform into the blockchain world as mintables, so that you can have both off-chain and on-chain collectibles at different price tiers that allow us to appeal to both sort of blockchain native audiences as well as mass market audiences for whom this may be their first collecting experience, and for which, you know, the blockchain NFT part may be not a special feature for them at the beginning, but as they get into the passion of collecting digital collectibles, we can then onboard them into the NFT experience later. Thank you very much. Really appreciate your time today, and have a great conference.